Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Mensah with inspirations and guidance from Eagle Helen Mensah in the unseen world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 5th of June in the year 2024, and the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made, and therefore we should rejoice and be glad in it. And for that matter, I take this opportunity to invite you, the whole world, to join me to give thanks to God for the day that He has granted unto us and life in general. Life is beautiful, life is wonderful, life is glorious. Life is God Himself, flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I'm going to speak to you on the topic, the universe responds to your emotions, but not your words or actions. The universe responds to your emotions, but not your words or actions. Have you ever asked yourself why? In most cases, all the time in your life, the things you don't think about, or things that you call trivial or not important, are those that easily comes into your life. And the things that you focus your mind, you think and worry about, never comes into your life. Have you ever asked yourself like that? Have you ever heard of, and it is actually a practical thing, all of us have heard people saying, I didn't even think about this thing and it came into my life. I didn't even think about it. This is not what I was expecting, but it came into my life. Some people wonder why what they are expecting doesn't appear in their life, but those that they never thought just walk into their life effortlessly. Today, this is what we are going to look at, and this particular thing is practical in every human being's life. Every one of us are examples of this situation. The things you worry about, you take to bed, you think you need it badly, and therefore you do all your prayers, actually runs away from you. Those that you don't even offer a word or a prayer about, walk into or appear into your life so easily. So the dilemma or the situation we are confronted with as human beings is what we are looking at. Okay, so this is how the whole thing works. We are in the universe, and as I have always been sharing with you, you are the extension of a very powerful force that we call God. And you can decide, or some people call it inner being, our soul, source, energy, whatever. And it is this presence that focuses itself into the physical world as a body, and as you. Though you are here, you are not separated from that that presence. You are just the extension, the furthest part of this presence. And therefore, you still have the direct connection with this presence. And the presence, or what you call God, thinks. And you in the physical, you've been given the freedom and the freedom of choice, or the right of choice. And therefore, you also have the freedom to think. Therefore, whatever situation that comes before you, as soon as you begin to think about it in a positive way, then you are in line with this presence. And since the presence is the creator of everything, those things flows into your life. And the natural state of the presence of which we are made of is positive, good. There is no negative or any concept of bad things in the calculation of God that we came from. And so it is our responsibility to think along the lines of God, what the thoughts of God. And therefore, as soon as you go into that mood, you feel good, you feel happy. And because that is the natural state of God, things that we don't think about automatically becomes natural to us. They are good. That means we are one with those things. Therefore, God flows through, God works or brings those things into our life effortlessly because we are not offering resistance. Now, the problem with the problem or the reason why what we focus on doesn't come into our life is that we establish what we call resistance. The arrangement is that we're supposed to have a free flow of communication or free flow of communication between us and our parent spirit or presence. And since we think in the negative, the moment you bring worry, though we say we focus on what we want to achieve, but if you are to focus on what you want to achieve, then you have to know that God is only positive. Therefore, the only way you can focus on that thing is to think about that thing in the positive way. But when you introduce emotions such as worry, fear, anger, then you are actually creating a discord. And so you see that someone will say, I did this thing badly. And therefore he takes those thoughts to bed and worry about those things. Then for the following day he gets up and begins continue with the worrying, begin to talk about it in negative ways. Some people will say that I need this thing badly, but I don't think I'm going to get it. Yes, that in that case, you are creating resistance. And since you are creating resistance, that is the focus. That creates your emotion. And since the emotion you are emitting is fear, worry, and anxiety, it is the same thing that you are going to repeat in your life. But sometimes we get caught up in other things that we actually take our mind from those things. And therefore, the moment you take your mind from those things and you get something to busy your mind, then you will see that the thing that you've dreaded, you've worried about, naturally walk into your experiences without even you praying about it, without even doing anything about it. The reason is that at that time, you've had something to distract your mind from worrying, your mind from being, worrying about that thing, being fearful or being afraid that this will happen and that will not happen. So the moment you take your mind off, the thing walks into your life. And so our entire life is based on our emotions. What you focus on is what is going to appear in your life. But so if you're going to focus your mind on anything, then make sure you focus on it in a positive way. If that is not possible, then look for something different that will give you positive energy, give you positive feeling to dwell on that. And as you concentrate on that positive aspect, you open the communication of the channels or the communication channels between you and your source or the parent source of God. And then you see all these things begin to flow into your life effortlessly. And so our life in this situation could be likened to that of someone working on a computer. Anyone that knows how to use a computer knows what I'm talking about. There are some applications, or sometimes you'll be installing an application and they tell you this application will take a certain number of hours or minutes to install. But feel free to minimize it and continue working on something different. And so instead of you just sitting down staring at the screen and becoming agitated and other things, you simply minimize the software or whatever you are installing, and then you go on to do something different. And so it takes your mind off that software that you are installing. So by the time you finish what you are doing, because you've taken your mind off, when you bring it up on the screen, everything is done. Or sometimes the software will automatically pop out. It sends you a pop-up message that installation is complete. It has come into your life effortlessly. But look at the situation that you just open this software and you are staring at it. Maybe it takes 2 hours and just sitting down staring at it. What comes in? Frustration, worry, anxiety, and all those things. And so it is in our life. We are multi-dimensional beings. We have different areas of life. If this area of life is not working, it becomes a problem. The way we operate is that as soon as you become conscious of a problem, there is an equivalent solution to that. And that solution is established in the mind of God. So it is our responsibility to allow this solution to flow into our existence. And the way we do it is to take our mind off the problem and then think of the solution. Or look for something that will make you feel good and create that connection between you and yourself in the non-physical or God. And that is how you allow things to come into your life. And it is all based on emotions. So we have a very good meter or a very good, a feedback that we need to read. You have to read your emotional meter that you get all the time. At every minute, every moment, ask yourself, how am I feeling about this situation? What is my emotional level? Is it positive or negative? Negative means you are creating a negative circumstances or negative circumstances in your life, in your future. And so this is how we operate. You are just like the computer. You have so many programs, some are installing, but you can allow them to install in the background. And those that we allow to install in the background are those that pops up in our life. Then we say, oh, my goodness, I didn't even think about that. But those that we focus our mind or we sit down, praying and hoping that they will install, they don't install. It takes ages. And therefore, whatever you are dealing with, if you are not getting the result, apply this principle. Minimize it. Minimize that screen. And look for something different to work on the screen. And as you go about, as you do it, the one that you've minimized will install automatically on its own and it comes into your life. And so this could be likened, or we can even look at it even from what we have in the Western world as the wishing well. There is a very fundamental truth in the wishing well idea that we have in the Western world about what I'm saying. The wishing well is simply that there is a well. And then when you go there, you take a coin, or it could be a pond or whatever, just like, whatever they will use it as for that purpose. So when you go there, you take a coin, you close your eyes, you make your wish, throw the coin you make your wish, and then you throw the coin into the well, and then you move away. So the instruction is that don't think about it again. And as you go about the wish that you have made, after throwing the coin, or the wish that you've made at the well comes into your life automatically, naturally. That is how our life is. This wishing well analogy is simply telling us that if you have a problem, focus your mind on the solution. And if you can do that, release it. Don't think about it, but look for something different to distract yourself, to make yourself happy. And as you go about doing your thing, that thing will come to you naturally. And so all these are examples to show you how the reason why what we focus on doesn't come into our lives, but what we don't focus on comes easily. The idea, the main way we operate as human beings is to allow the great presence that we are made of, our parent spirit or our true present, true self in the non-physical, to flow through our experiences. And the only thing we can do, the only way to allow this presence to flow through our experiences is to eliminate all resistance, is to make ourselves happy, is to always look for things that will make us feel happy and good. And that is emotions. So you will know exactly what you are creating at any moment in time. You know how your future will be based on how you are feeling about any circumstance. So do not. I know we teach mental power, but the only time that your willpower is necessary is when you are focusing on what you want to create in a positive way. If you can't do that, then leave that in all completely and look for something that will distract you from thinking in a negative way. And as you do, this desire, this dream will manifest just as the minimized application on your computer comes up when it is completely installed. So this is who you are. This is what we operate. So the universe is always responding to what we are feeling or how the emotions that we are emitting. And your emotions is to tell you where you are going, whether you are doing the right thing or whether you are creating the right thing or you are creating the bad thing. So you need to listen to your emotions. And therefore your focus must not be just your willpower thinking about it and worrying and telling people, oh, I believe this thing, I need this thing badly, but I think it is not going to happen. Then you use the bad to qualify it. The moment you introduce bad, that is doubt. And doubt is resistance. Therefore, you're not going to get it. That is how you feel. And therefore, whatever you will feel is that you happen in your life. Though if you can make your life even a general thing that you are just a happy person. The I don't care people that we say, I don't care people, that they get the things in a way that we can say with the God, they get things on a silver platter. But no, that is not it. They know, some of them know these laws, and therefore they just place themselves along or in alignment with the law, and everything works for them perfectly. Those of us that are toiling, we are focused, we are using our willpower to get it by hook or crook. Even we are those suffering and we get nothing, because even as you are struggling, you are doing all this thing to get whatever you are looking for, you are emitting negative emotions, and the universe responds to only your negative emotions. So you see that we keep on recreating all these things. And so whatever I am sharing with you is very fundamental to our lives. How we organize our lives, it is based on our emotions. And therefore, always, the question that you need to ask yourself about every subject is, how am I feeling? If your feeling about that subject is not right, know that the problem has equivalent solution. And the only way you can bring in the solution into your life is to minimize it and allow God, just like we allow the computer, the computer system to install the software for us effortlessly, and then it comes to inform us that it is done. In the same way, you have to release whatever you are thinking, you are going through, into the hands of this powerful force. And then when it is done, present it to you and say, it is done. So everything is always done for us, but we have to allow it to appear in our lives. So you do not have to toil, you do not have to struggle, you do not have to worry about anything, but you have to be happy. You have to have that positive and vibrant energy always circulating in your life. And once you have this, everything will align for you perfectly. Even those that you think that are so big, if you can release it, it will come into your life effortlessly. And that is why we talk of surrender in the Christian religion, that we should surrender to God. To surrender doesn't mean that you give up, you forgive, or you forget about your desire. To surrender doesn't mean that you are forgetting about what you want. To surrender simply means you are no more going to worry about what you are looking for, but you are believing and trusting that this thing will be brought to you by God, a higher power, effortlessly. And in that case, you have surrendered everything to this power, and you are having complete and absolute faith. The way you demonstrate your faith, the more you demonstrate your faith and trust in this power, is to be happy, for you are rejoicing for the fact that you know that it is already done. Anything that you know is right, is done, is to be, you celebrate it. And therefore, your celebration is the evidence of the fact that this thing is already done in the spirit, and you are only waiting for it to flow, to appear in your physical experiences. And therefore, thanksgiving, that is why in the Bible, thanksgiving and praises and all kind of anything that brings you that positive vibe is encouraged, that we should use it as our prayer. Therefore, today, I have come to you, and I'm sharing this truth with you, that all the things that you have dreaded, you have worried, you thought that you need them badly, that never came, you can achieve them right now in your life from today going. If you learn how to release, surrender it onto a powerful force by just taking your mind off, holding that solution in your mind in thought that it is already done. When the thoughts of that particular problem comes in, all that you say is that, Father, thank you for answering my prayer. Thank you for this already in my life. And that is how you bring things into your life. And therefore, the universe is not responding to the ways or whatever that you are making, your effort, your physical effort that you are making, but the universe is responding to the emotions that you attach to the effort, you attach to the words. So check your emotions. Check your emotions. And if you're able to take your emotional state to only the positive and constructive level, you will get everything flowing into your life effortlessly. It will be a process. You only need patience and wait and allow the master creator whom you are co-creating to flow into your life. That is my message for you. The wishing well analogy is a very typical example. You make your wish, you forget, it appears in your life. The computer software installation analogy is a typical, that is how your life operates. If you have a problem, there is an equivalent solution to the problem. Minimize the problem and allow the computer to work out the solution for you. When the solution is done, it comes out. That is the software that has been installed into your life. And then you get a new life. You enjoy your computer when you install the new software. In the same way. So life is a practical application. Don't walk as if you do not have control over your life. You need to see your life. You're living as a practical, day-to-day affair. And that is by you taking control, you being attentive and listening to how you feel about every given situation. That is my message for you. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That is my message for you. Now, may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open such that they do not fall on us, and keeps the planets in their orbit such that they do not clash with one another, lead and guide you, inspire you unto your own true powers, and for you to become awakened to their own way of operation and adapt to the laws of your own being and the laws of the universe, so that all of us individually, we will co-create only positive and wonderful experiences in our life. And all of us put together, we co-create a community, society, national, races, all the world, humanity, positive and wonderful experiences. But we keep on using all that comes as our negative experiences, a contrast, then we transform them into a positive and a wonderful experiences that we move forward. And that is our evolution. And that is God working through us and working through us to evolve. And that is why the Bible says, for it is God who worketh in you, both to will and to do for his own good pleasure. Thank you, and God bless you.